Well, welcome back. The Ontario Premier Doug Ford made a surprise appearance at the Grain Farmers of Ontario March Classic meeting in London, Ontario this week. And host of Real Ag Radio, Sean Haney, joins us now with the very latest. Good to have you with us, Sean. So what message did Premier Ford bring?
Yeah, great to be with you here this morning. So, it was really a surprise. All of a sudden, out walks from the curtain Ontario Premier Doug Ford speaking to the Grain Farmers of Ontario meeting. These are the farmers that are growing corn and soybeans and wheat in the province of Ontario. And he really brought the message talking about costs, and particularly around the carbon tax. He really hammered on the fact that Bill C-234 needs to find a pathway out of the House of Commons and to be actual legislation. This is the piece of legislation that would exempt farmers across Canada, including corn growers in Ontario, from having to pay a carbon tax on natural gas and propane related to things like corn drying with a grain dryer. Also, Premier Ford went even a step further, calling for the Liberal government to totally scrap the carbon tax altogether. He said all it does is gouge people. It's not beneficial. It's not beneficial, and it hurts people. So, Premier Ford really bringing a message of affordability to the delegates.
Interesting. So, is he pretty popular among farmers there?
Yeah, no doubt that southwestern Ontario in particular is very blue conservative, indeed. But what's also interesting is as farmers are definitely voting for the Conservatives of Ontario, some of our data at Real Agri Studies, the market research arm of Real Agriculture, has really shown that if you compare how farmers feel about the provincial government in terms of their support of agriculture, Alberta and Saskatchewan, for example, also conservative governments, farmers feeling that their province is much more supportive of the industry than, say, Premier Ford and how Ontario growers feel about him. He's had some hiccups when it comes to the green belt, for example, some of being sold off for housing, or him trying to do that and the scandal around that. So, Premier Ford, although popular, I would say with farmers, not as popular as in comparison to farmers in some of the western provinces.
Of course, I know that Real Agriculture Radio had somebody at that event. So what was Bern Tobin's sense of the growers' mindset there as spring approaches?
Yeah, Bern Tobin, our Ontario field editor for Real Agriculture, was on location there. And, in talking to him, he said, typical spring optimism really is kind of tempered by the current state of commodity markets and some other factors as well. Farmers are concerned about crop prices, input prices, the impact of something like the carbon tax, as we were just talking about, and some pockets of Ontario are dry or less. Is it going to rain? Yes, it's just a matter of when. And when we do put that corn in, being concerned that soil is really, really fit, and we can launch that corn out of the ground and to really kind of counter some of those overall profitability concerns that we have in 2024. So I would say tempered optimism is a good way to describe it.
Good way to describe it. That's host of Real Ag Radio, Sean Haney. Appreciate you joining us today. This Real Ag Radio update brought to you by Heads Up Plant Protectants. You can go to headsupst.com for information on their products. And you can catch Sean on his show, Real Ag Radio, which airs at 4:30 p.m. Eastern weekdays on Rural Radio, Channel 147 on Sirius XM. And we'll talk with him again tomorrow on Market Day Report.